Postbag time. Can't get it all in the camera. Oh, can't find a tape measure, but as you can see, four hands long. Sorry about that. Now it's that long. Can you guess what it is? Thing is, see if I can get it to focus on that. Stand up for this so I can hold it there. Is that in focus? Wait for it. Count the chips. 1, 2, 2. There goes. Tuba 2. A quick look at the DAC into the SPI interface. The ones I got are the 4822, which is dual 12-bit. It's SPI interface. And 8 pins, quite simple. So all you need to do, 0-volt supply, the usual SPI data bus, clock, chip select, and then there is a load DAC. When that goes low, the data that you've put into the DAC is connected to the DAC, so that value will come out if you want it so that you can set A and B voltages different, to different voltages, but you want them to change at exactly the same time. If you don't care about when exactly they change, you can tie that line low, and if you write data in for the output A, as soon as that data's in, output A will change, and the same with B. So they will change independent. If you use that pin, you can make them change together or synchronized. So it's quite simple. You've got 2 input registers, you've got 2 DAC registers, 2 DAC outputs. So basically with that low, if you clock data in through A, it flows straight through, so into B, it flows straight through into B, straight through into there and comes out. If you hold that high, you can program both of these, they sit there, and then when you bring that low, they both move forward and the output changes accordingly. So nice little DAC, got its own internal ref, and one of the things that, you know, these are complicated little chippies. They have 12 bits of 12-bit DACs, and what gives the game away a bit is it doesn't actually show it on here, but this data sheet has 50 pages, because obviously to get these DACs to work at their full rated performance, there is a lot to know. If you go down past all the specifications, you get into a whole mass of data about non-linearity and effects with temperature and all sorts. So you know, if you want to run these flat out at full 12 bits, then you need a lot of reading of these graphs to know what it's doing and how it will behave. Next one. Smaller package. For 2 bigger chips. I don't think you're going to see these, so I'll have to tell you what they are. They are 2 114N-2 memory chips for my pet. A quick look at the data sheet for the memory chip. As you can see here, it's got 4096 bits, and it's static random access memory, which means it doesn't need to be refreshed. The data stays there as long as there's power. As we can see, it runs off 5 volts. They say there's a low power version, 300 milliwatts. I think it has a minimum power dissipation of half a watt. So not the lowest power chip going. And you can see it's quite simple how it's arranged. You've got 4 address lines running the columns, and you've got 2, 4, 6 address lines running the rows. The I/O is either an input controlled by these gates into the system, or it's an output controlled by these gates coming out. The chip enable just enables one side or the other, and the right just determines whether the data is going in this way or coming out that way. So quite a simple little chip, not a lot to talk about. I've just replaced it with a -2, which is 200 nanosecond timing. And if you scroll down, we can just have a quick look at the fact that if you put the address in, the chip enable low, within about 200 nanoseconds, the data will appear. Once you've read it, you disable it, and then you can play with the addressing what you want to do. If you want to write to it, again, you need to set the address, wait for it to stabilize, enable the chip. Now you can enable the chip in the write mode either before you enable it or afterwards, but shortly afterwards you have data that's on the bus that's coming out of the chip, but that will disappear. Put your data in, hold it steady. While it's steady, either raise the write or you can raise the enable, either one of those going high or latch the data in, and then they recommend that here you keep the data stable. That's it. Quick look at the data sheet. Much more else to say. Back to the video. There isn't much post this month because of what's going on. Got some more chips. These are 3.3 volt regulators. Very quick look at the regulator. This is the one I got. As you can see, it's only got 5 pins, a V in, a V out, an enable, a ground, and a decoupling. So that's what it is. Very simple, very common, and I'm just gonna chuck it on the board and allow me to have it running at 3 volts, or 3.3 volts, sorry. So nothing fantastic, lots of power things, but you know, nothing fantastic to write home about. It's a half an amp peak, so good enough for what I want to do. And then one last package from RS again. They do like sending me everything in separate packages. More little ferrules to go with the big ones I bought last time. So now I got some big ones and I got some tiny ones in my ferrule collection. That's it for Postbag 14. Just memory chips for the video RAM for my pet, D2As for Arduino MIDI to analog synth interface. So I want to build a analog synthesizer, 3.5 volt regulators, and some little ferrules. So that's it. Not much coming in from China because we're on lockdown. Small Postbag. Catch you next time. If you want to subscribe, hit that button, click that bell, and I'll see you next time.